Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Papa.
I'm Matt.
I'm Callie.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone, to another beautiful day on the farm. The first thing on our list of jobs for today is getting some beans harvested. We've got all our baskets back here. We've got our tractor hooked up to our bean harvester, and now we're ready to go. All we need to do is find the beans, and guess what? We know right where they are. You ready to pick some beans?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Daniel, you ever seen a guy fall off this thing?
I just did.
Oh, yeah, it's happened quite a few times. That's why there's a big caution sticker on the back for all those that have fallen off this machine. Oh boy, I just love this machine. When it comes to the 3 different types of beans that we raise, green beans, yellow beans, and flat beans, we sell quite a bit of them. And because we sell so many, if we were to try and handpick all of this, oh, we'd be out here all day. A lot of you know that we end up planting beans every other week, and there's a good reason for that. We sell a lot of beans, and this is just a little bit to give you an idea of what we go through in a week. Now, this machine that we're using, it is pretty amazing, but I'll give you a quick idea of how it works. All the way at the front, we have 2 little guides that will guide the bush beans into the machine. Inside this little housing is a wheel that is covered in long fingers that strips everything off the plant. It follows a system of conveyors into our fan housing. Our fan housing sucks out all the debris and small beans. And then the larger beans that we're looking for, they follow up this conveyor into our baskets. The design isn't anything too complex. I mean, you've already seen how it works. But could you imagine having to pick all these beans by hand? Oh, that would be awful. Now, there are some drawbacks to the way that we're raising these beans. For one example, we can only pick them once using this machine. But for us and the amount of beans that we move, we see all the positives that this machine does, and it far outweighs any of the smaller negatives that we might face. So yeah, the bean harvester, one of my favorite tools that we have. Now, we've already got our yellow beans. We also picked our flat beans. So the only thing left on the menu for today is our green beans.
guy.
Daniel's a little jealous right now. Joel's doing his job. Daniel loves to go mowing with the chopper, and that's what Joel's been doing the past couple days. Poor Daniel. He's gonna be all sad. Daniel, I know you're sad, but just think about these wonderful beans. Look at these beans. Yeah, they are pretty nice. A quick look at the wagon helps you to appreciate we've gotten a lot of beans today. We've got 3 bushel of Italian flat. We've got 3.5 bushel of yellow, and Dad is bringing back from the last row of green. We have 2 bushel of green beans on the wagon. Now we're hoping we don't need to be back out here this week to harvest. Hopefully this should be enough to get us through the weekend. Even if it wasn't, it's not really that big of a deal to come out here and pick a little bit. It goes so fast, especially with this machine. But we just have so much stuff going on. If we can just get this job done for the weekend, well, that'll be really nice. We can focus on some other things. These are beautiful. The beans are looking pretty good coming out of that harvester.
That's nice. I was worried because of all the rain we were having. Sometimes when you have too much rain, the beans get rust in them, the little brown spots.
Well, as we were on the back of the machine, we did not see any, and all the beans look good. They tasted good too.
I noticed you were eating a lot. I'm gonna have to weigh you when I get back home.
Uh-oh. Some of you may be wondering why Joel is going through and mowing this field for us. The big reason is because there's a lot of ragweed coming in here, and if that goes to seed, well, we're gonna have more ragweed. So Joel's going through and mowing this off before that happens, and it's gonna keep this field nice and clean. I don't know what we're giving away. Every single time we get back to this farm market after we've been doing some picking, there is cars everywhere. I mean, I know that's kind of what we want, but it's just amazing how many people are showing up and getting some produce. We just got all our beans moved inside. Some of the customers were pretty excited about that. But once all the beans were moved into the cooler, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bins loaded onto the truck, and now we're on our way to get some sweet corn. One of the bins is for an order. We need 400 ears of corn. The rest of them, we're just gonna fill them as full as we can get them because we need it. And here we have our first bin of sweet corn. Now we did something a little bit different this time. What we'll normally do is go through and pick all of our orders first, so we have one less thing to worry about. However, this time we wanted to get this little patch of sweet corn we're in picked off so that we could take it home for our customers. See, the large order that we have, it's for a supermarket, and a lot of the people getting the corn there are gonna be taking it home and roasting it or eating it fresh. But the sweet corn that we're picking right now, well, it wouldn't be perfect for that situation. The sweet corn that we just picked, it's really, really good, and you can eat it that way, but it's a little more mature than some of the later sweet corn that we have in this patch, and it would be really good for canning and freezing. And not only do we have a large order for the supermarket, but we have a bunch of small orders, 100 ears here, 50 ears here, 200 ears here, for some local people in our community. So by taking this sweet corn that we had just picked and saving that for our customers, they're gonna be able to can and freeze whatever they want, and they can also eat it fresh because it still has good flavor. These are the things we try and focus on and pay attention to while we're picking, and it pays off in the long run, and it makes the customers very happy. Now, the last variety we were picking was called Allure. This is called Montauk, and it's a little bit younger. It's our second variety that we have planted on here, and this is gonna be perfect for anybody that wants to use this for canning or for the supermarket. Something that's really nice about this variety that we're picking right now is it just pops off the stalk. This saves your arm and your shoulder after a long day, believe me. Some of these varieties can really wear you out. I actually just had one of the viewers show up at the farm the other day, and they were telling me they raised Montauk for the first time, and it was their favorite sweet corn that they've ever raised. And I was telling them, I'm like, yeah, that's why we raise it all the time. Now, Montauk is not good for every condition. It's not good for every person, but it's just a variety that works really good where we live. It's good with our weather, it's good with our soil conditions, and it's good with our elevation. 3 things that are major factors into choosing a variety. Uh-oh, he lost an ear. Guess I'll just have to eat it. Wow, that is a beautiful ear of corn. That's so sweet. Now I know why people keep buying this. We just got our last bin of corn picked. We got 4 full bins. Well, I should say 3 full bins and 400 ears in 1 bin. But the ears are so large, it looks like 4 full bins. There it is. A beautiful, beautiful sweet corn. Time to get this stuff back to the farm. How's that sweet corn, Daniel?
Good luck.
Nice and cool in here. You want to help put the corn over here? No! You're small. Oh, you're small. You can still help with the corn.
I need another one.
We just got everything moved inside. It is a little hectic here. The farm market is super busy. I changed my shirt because last one was pretty sweaty and pretty nasty. So yep, decided to change the shirt. Getting ready to eat some sandwiches, and some yellow watermelon. So we got a lot picked this morning with the corn and the beans, and we were also able to get a lot of the chores done around the farm here. Now for the afternoon, I know we do need to get some peppers for the weekend, so we're probably gonna be picking some peppers. We also have to finish off the cucumbers that we started picking yesterday. What else do we need to do? Tomatoes. We need to get tomatoes. So those 3 things are gonna be what we're focusing on this afternoon, and hopefully we can get everything picked that we need. Our first job of the afternoon brings us back out to the cucumber field. We need to finish off this little section of cucumbers. The other day, the wholesaler called. He was in a pinch. He needed cucumbers, so we picked through our entire row a little early on. And now all we have left is a little bit more to pick. So it shouldn't take us too long, but it needs to be done. So once the boys show up with the baskets, we're gonna get working on these cucumbers. What do you see down there, Pop Pop?
Work.
Work.
You want to pick with me, Matt?
Yes.
Wonderful. Having a picking buddy makes this so much more enjoyable. You looking at the beans?
Yeah.
Beans look good?
They do actually.
I don't know how it happened, but the heat snuck up on us today. I didn't think it was going to be as hot as it is, but I'm really starting to feel it this late into the afternoon. Picking this little section of cucumbers here gave us just about 4 baskets, and that's another job checked off the list for this afternoon, so on to the next. We're in one of our sections of pepper field, and the first thing we're going to be grabbing is Italian L's. Big pepper back here. Look at this one. Ooh, it's like folded in half. We needed 8 Italian L. We've got 6 already picked. Dad and Matthew are working on the last 2. Daniel and I decided to move over to where the hot peppers were. We're grabbing some jalapenos. I don't know how many baskets we need, but we're gonna see what we can get. And let me just assure you, when it comes to these peppers, we're not worried about finding any, because just look at this one plant. Wow, this is fully loaded. What's neat about peppers is as they start getting larger, they continue to form more blossoms. But when the plant's on the smaller side, the first blossoms will be towards the bottom side of the plant as it gets larger, and that's why your larger peppers are on the bottom side of the plant, because that's where the first blossoms form. Now, as the pepper plant gets older and larger, you will get more larger peppers towards the top, but for the most part, in the beginning, a lot of the larger peppers will be on the bottom. Look at this plant right here. We have some larger ones at the top, that's pretty good. But now look what we have on the bottom. Yeah, big difference. That's why we like to try and get the bottom part of these plants picked off. That encourages the plant to push out more blossoms and make more jalapenos that we could later sell. We've got 2 baskets of jalapenos. Daniel is finishing off the 3rd, so I'm now moving on the long hots. I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble finding these. You know, when I think back to all the hard work getting this stuff irrigated, I think how important it was for us to get that done. You remember not too long ago, we were dealing with some insanely hot temperatures and really, really dry weather. These plants would not have survived if we were not able to irrigate. And if they did survive, well, they wouldn't be producing the crop that they are right now. Now, we all know that irrigation is nothing compared to a good rain, but we just needed to do our best to keep these crops pushing, and thankfully it worked. As you can see, this stuff looks absolutely gorgeous. Seeing a crop like this makes you remember all that hard work that you put in and helps you to appreciate that it was worth it. So every single day that we get to pick these peppers, I appreciate what we have, because you know, if we didn't put in the extra work, we might not have been able to harvest all this stuff. But because we did put in the extra work, look what we get to enjoy. Beautiful, beautiful peppers. Currently, we're following a list of stuff that needs to be picked. We've got the Italianelles picked. We have got the long hots. We've got the jalapenos. What else did we get picked? Dad got poblanos picked, and now he's working on sweet cherry. And then over here behind Dad, we have Daniel, who is working on some sweet banana. And now my job is gonna be grabbing some bell peppers. We need 6 baskets of bell peppers. Nice little spot here. Oh, pepper ran away. These plants are cute. They're all on the smaller side, but they still got peppers on them. That's the only thing that really matters, right? They got peppers on them. Ooh, a little too full there, Dad. Beautiful. Bell peppers are now all picked. The last thing when it comes to peppers that needs to be harvested is hot cherry peppers. So we got to walk our way down there, and we'll get to helping Daniel. I don't know if it was just that it was hot when these were maturing. Some of them seem a little small. Maybe that's just because they've been so large the past few years. I think when it was really, really hot and really, really dry, these were pollinating. This is to be expected, but they're not that little. I think I'm just used to what we had last year. They're pretty nice. People are gonna love stuffing those. And that is gonna do it for peppers. We just got the last of the hot cherry picked. So we've got our 4 hot cherry, we've got our Italianelle or Italian sweet, jalapeno, we have our long hots, hot wax, bell peppers, sweet cherry, and poblanos. Did I mention cubanelles? Probably not. We got our cubanelles too. Dad just took back the large wagon that was completely full of produce. We wanted to get it out of the heat, so he's taking that back to the farm. And then in my side-by-side, I have 4 baskets of hot cherry peppers, and I have 2 baskets of bell peppers. We also do not want those in the heat, so I'm taking them back to the farm. While Dad and I are gone, Matt and Daniel are gonna be working on grabbing some tomatoes. Matthew is currently picking some heirloom, and it looks like Daniel is just picking some ordinary round tomatoes down there. Dad and I got everything moved off the wagons and into the cooler. We also made our way back out to the field where the boys have been picking tomatoes. It looks like they've made a lot of progress, but now that I'm out here, I can help pick some. Now you will notice as we're picking these tomatoes, we are taking the tops off the tomatoes. That's because when we move them into the basket, sometimes they get poked. Like you can see this one right here. I just poked it myself with the stem. So when we have other stems on tomatoes, we don't want them poking other tomatoes and marking them up. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a beauty. Beautiful little spot of tomatoes. Bunch of gorgeous ones in here. Trying to carry them all in 2 hands. And here we go. Just got the basket of tomatoes filled. And that's gonna be it for tomatoes. We got the rest of the baskets filled as well. Now all we gotta do is get them all loaded up and onto the wagon. I forgot to mention, I brought Petey out here with me. He said he wanted something to do. I said, that's wonderful. You can load tomatoes up. Right, Pete? He loves tomatoes.
They taste good.
That's gonna be it for tomatoes today. Don't they look really good? We're gonna take them home, run them through the washer, get them all cleaned up, and then sorted. Now the tomatoes are coming out of the washer, and we're sorting them a few different ways. If they're on the lighter side, so if they're a lighter color, we're putting them into a basket to ripen up. If they're ready to go and they have like imperfections or anything on them, we're gonna be putting them into a basket for canning tomatoes. And if they're number ones or they're perfect, we're gonna be putting them in a basket, taking them up and selling them inside the farm market. So we have a few different ways that we gauge how and what we wanna do with them, but that's what my dad and Matthew are working on. There you go, you're good. Well, everybody, after we ended up closing the farm market, we made our way home. We got Uncle Joel and little Ronnie here hanging out. And then over here we got Mimi and Lily hanging out. And then we got Pop Pop. Pop Pop's just out standing in this field. We're relaxing for the evening. We just ate dinner. We're watching a little bit of baseball. And that means this is where we're gonna end the video today. If you guys have not already, don't forget to like the video. Another thing I will mention, make sure you check out the description. There's a lot of stuff in the description. All right, everyone. You have a good night. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.